Hi everyone, this is Chris. Welcome to my dollhouse, my craft room. I finally have a craft room, and I want to. It's a bit difficult for me today because this is a personal, just a personal chat about something that's happening in my life, and to a very, very dear friend of mine who I've been friends with. Well, we have been friends for half our lives, and she's facing a very difficult moment. She's been diagnosed with cancer, and she's on her last part of her journey at the moment as we speak. And I thought I would come on and chat today about how it has affected my life. Perhaps it might help someone else face the same sort of situation, to know that they are not alone and their journey is a very personal one, and one that needs to be acknowledged on a personal level, to understand what's happening and why it's happening. And I thought I would share it with you today here in my craft room, because this is a part of my healing process. And Annie, that's her name. I'm sure she'll will allow me to say her name, because I don't want her to be a lost soul. And I talk about my lost souls on this channel, on my doll channel, and we sort of talk about lost souls and having their story told so they will be remembered. And I want Annie to be remembered for the gentle soul that she is. She's just a wonderful person. I've known her, half my life. I remember the first day that we met. I was out in my garden. It was my first home, and I was really proud of being in my home. And Annie was across the road. She lived across the road from me. She'd been there for several years before I moved in, and I was out in the garden just digging around in the soil. And she comes on over, and I'm thinking, who's this coming over? And she says, "Hi, I'm Annie. Who are you?" And that sort of was our first conversation, and it just blossomed from there. And I'm really proud to say that Annie's been my friend ever since, and she's seen and helped and guided me through quite a few times in my life when I needed someone to chat with. She became really close to my daughter at that time. My daughter was born a few years later after that, and my daughter and I would come over to Annie's house, and we'd just chat and hang out for a little bit. And so we all became very close. So my daughter's known Annie all of her life, and she's feeling this struggle at the moment, and as we all are. But I'm very proud of Annie, because she's never ever given up. She received the diagnosis just over 12 months ago. It was a terminal diagnosis, and there wasn't anything that the doctors could do. She has lung cancer. And I think that was the beginning of my spiral, and I wanted to share that with you at the moment. Not to be depressing, and not to be wallowing in my self-pity, because I'm not, and I don't want that for Annie. Annie would not allow me to wallow. She has never wallowed in what's happening to her, and she's never made any complaints. It is what it is, and she's acknowledged that, and has made peace with what's happening to her. I'm also wanting to say, I won't say her name, but I wanted to acknowledge Annie's wife as well, who has stood by her all through the whole process, and has never wavered in her support of Annie, her wife, and has also become a very integral part of Annie's journey as she progresses through the last phase of that. So in about April, May, Annie also received the diagnosis that the cancer had progressed to her brain, and it's only a matter of time now. She's in palliative care at home. She wants to be at home with her wife, and together they are fighting this one just to keep a positive outlook and just to be there to support each other. It's sad to see a friend that was so vibrant and so alive come to this stage in her life, but we are there for her. I think of her every single day, and I send her messages every day. She can't talk on the phone, so I don't call her, but I send her messages every day just to say hi and that I'm here, and I'm just a phone call away. And should she ever want to have me there, and I do come to visit, my daughter and I visit. So part of the process was, and part of what happened to me, it's like I took on board the diagnosis on a personal level, and I sort of lost the plot for the last 12 months. And I've come to the stage when I wanted to run away. I could not run away physically, of course, but emotionally, mentally perhaps, I tried to run away, and my running away destination was my when. And I've talked about my a when readings on my other channel. If you wanted to go and check those out, I'll leave a link for my other channel, Sacred Keep. So I did a few readings over there when I was realising that I had lost the plot. I dropped my bundle and it was affecting not only me but my environment, my family. So I thought I have to do something about this, because that was my running away point, the when. And that's the when that comes to us sometimes. I'll be happy when. My life will start when. I'll do this when. And we all have a when, don't we? We all have a when. When I lose weight, when I get a new job, when I have a new home, which was my when. When I have a new home, my forever home was my when, and still is a when. But I'm coming to a conclusion that, it's the journey that matters, not the destination. And sometimes, as in my instance, that when may never happen. And I realised, why am I waiting for that when? Why am I putting my life on hold for that when? Why can't I be happy right now? And I realised that Annie has, or may have had, quite a few whens that will not be fulfilled. And I thought, well, how can I hold on to my when she will no longer be able to fulfill those whens, So it's a bit selfish of me to wallow in that, in respect to Annie. So Annie's friends, not friends of mine, we're not co-friends, but we're friends with Annie, helped her along with one of those whens by giving her a Harley Davidson ride for her birthday last year, and she was just so proud of herself sitting on the back of a Harley, and it was wonderful to see that, just to see one of those whens fulfilled for her. And she'd always wanted to ride a Harley, and they arranged that for her, and because she's a biker chick. When I first met Annie, she was riding a motorcycle, and she just loves motorcycles, and that was one of her favourite moments that she'll treasure forever. And I think that's really important for us, to be able to take some of those whens and do some of it now, to put a start on ourselves to become part of the process of attaining that when. When starts today, and what can we do today to make a start on our when? And so I thought, well, what can I do to satisfy a part of me that is waiting for that when. But what can I do now to be satisfied? Because my when is my forever home, and part of that forever home is Gawler. I would like to live in Gawler one day, and have our forever home for me and my kids there. So I thought part of that when was I need space for a library, I need a room for my craft, I need a room for my dolls, and I need a bath because I don't have a bath and I need a bath. So what can I do to start that happening? And I dropped the plot a while ago, and I looked out into my carport and I thought, oh my God, look at the mess out here. This is a space I used to utilise. And after the diagnosis, I just lost the plot, and everything just sort of crowded in on me. So I removed everything and put it out into the carport as a sort of symbolic letting go, I guess. But in the process, it cluttered everything else up, and the energy was just so condensed, so squeezing, that's the only word I can think of. It paralysed me in so many ways, and I thought, my God, I can't do this anymore. So what could I do for my when, starting with the carport? So I cleaned it up, I tidied it up, so now I have a craft space, I have a laundry space, my son has a woodworking space and a space to maintain his bicycle. So, you know, and my daughter can share the craft space with me. So it's sort of given us a freedom, and it's lightened the load for me and made me realise that I still wanted to live and contain what I have right now. This moment is the only moment we are guaranteed. This particular moment we're standing here right now, and you're listening to this. And there aren't any other guarantees, are there? We don't know what's going to be happening for us. So I thought I'd do this reading and show you. So there's not much action going on. There's another thing that I wanted. I wanted a library, and I said, I will read more when I have a library space. So I started a library space. So now I've got a reading nook. It's not a room, but it's a reading nook, and I can sit there and read. How simple is that? It was a space that was already there. I just improvised and rearranged it to make it into a reading nook. I had a bath a year ago. I bought a bath a year ago before Annie's diagnosis, and I utilised that. But that's done. But I wanted to do more with that. I've also got myself. I've rearranged my doll space because I thought I will interact with my dolls more when I have a doll room. And I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to have a doll room. I haven't got the space for a doll room in my home. So I utilised my space in my bedroom to make a separate area for my dolls. So I've organised that as well. And then I thought I'll craft more when I get a craft room. Another thing I put off, and here I have a craft room. So I want to do some happy rocks, maybe some mosaics, and to finish off my cemetery, which I started last year, as some of you may know, for my haunted dollhouse, and I started a cemetery. So I'm in the process now of finishing that off. I have done quite a few things. I've got some little crypts over there. I've got the what do you call them? Guardians? No. You know, the people that look after the cemetery. Lodge keeper. I have a mausoleum here that I'm about to finish as well. I've got Mrs. Abernathy, which I finished for my haunted dollhouse. She's over there. Eloise, caretaker, that's the word, caretaker for my cemetery. She's a little doll that was gifted to me by Karina over at the Haunted Doll House on Etsy when I purchased a doll from her. So she gave me a little gift of Eloise, and she is the caretaker, and this is her little caretaker cottage, which I want to finish for the cemetery. So that goes over there. Well, that's not going to go over there, but I'll put it over there now. And some little grave markers, a tree at the back there which I want to finish, a few other little things here and there, and my Buddha, which had been really badly looked after in the last few months. So in honour of Annie, I'm going to start living my life now, not when. I also want to show you a picture of Annie. I'm sure she won't mind. Just bear with me while I get it up. This is my friend Annie. She's such a darling person. She'll do anything for you. She's just... I don't want her to become a lost soul. I'm also going to be when the time comes, I'm going to try and honour her with a... oh, and this is my library area. Oh, you can't see it very well, can you? Oh, dear. Oh, well, I'll show you all those things anyway later on. This is Annie. Annie is a very, very dear friend. This is one of her little dogs who passed away, sadly, but that's Annie. Oh, she's a wonderful, wonderful person, and I'm being honoured to know her, and to so this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be putting a roof on this mausoleum. So that's what I was going to be doing today, but I talked and not did any action, did I? So I'm just going to bring that over here and put on a piece, some paper, corrugated paper, and I'm just going to put on here. It will be painted again. It's sort of, you know, a bit topsy-turvy at the moment. Using this glue, the best craft glue ever. I've you know, blacked out the name. I don't know if I'm allowed to put that on YouTube. But I'm just going to put this over here like this. It's going to be all higgledy-piggledy because I said I'm just using scrap paper. Popping that on. Can you see that? I'm just gluing it on. Bits and pieces need some extra glue. Now that I've got a craft room, I've got no excuse, have I, to not finish my haunted areas. Which piece will be best? It's all scrap. That can go there like that, can't it? So I'm going to cut that off here. Put some more glue. It will be painted. It's just a corrugated iron roof, as you can see. It's very bright out here because I'm in the carport, of course. I'm at the far end. That's the opened end. I've also wanted, when I had my when moments, I also wanted to do a craft circle. Labyrinth. I want a labyrinth, and I wanted to do a drum circle when I had the room. I wanted a house up at Gawler with enough room to build a labyrinth, have enough space for a drum circle, to invite my friends over for a drum circle, and I'm thinking, why can't I do that now? I mean, I don't have the perfect space for a huge labyrinth, but I could do a small one, just big enough for me, just to wander through and to meditate on. And I could also attend a drumming circle, or just do one myself. I don't need the space to do that to start. I'm making my whens now, and that part of that is adapting and utilising what one has to start your when, because we're only guaranteed this moment, and sometimes we can't guarantee a future. So there's part of the roof. It's going to be painted. So to the other side, come back, and I want this to be fun. I don't want it to be looking professional. I want it to look handmade. I want everything to be handmade. And part of that is just to work with what I have. So I'm doing this one, and so Mrs. Abernathy is part of the Haunted Dollhouse. I will show you that too. I'll show you my doll area as well. I'll show you my library space. And Mrs. Abernathy is actually the matron of the orphanage that was near the house that is my Haunted Dollhouse. So she was living there at the time, and she died in a fire that was set at the orphanage. And I introduce all of the characters from the orphanage as well as I progress. I'm not too sure which channel to do the dollhouse readings, whether this channel or my other channel. I'll leave that to the future to decide. Which one do I use? There we go. It's quite a cold morning, but it's the sun's trying to shine today. It's amazing, isn't it, how the sun of winter is absolutely gorgeous and welcomed, but the sun of summer is grotesque. So there we go. I'm just going to have to let that dry, and then I can paint it, finish the mausoleum, and finish the cemetery. Oh, so I've got to put a little bit on there. Should I use it that side? Cut a bit more off. Hoping to have have this ready very soon, and you'll be able to have readings. So there we go. That's part of the process. So I hope that was interesting enough for you. Sorry, a bit of a no, I'm not sorry I waffled, and I'm not sorry I shared my information with anyone. But you know, if you don't want to watch it, that's okay. Sometimes it's sort of just nice to be able to chat and to share, you know. So thank you very much, everyone, and until next time with Mrs. Abernathy and Eloise, the caretaker. That's the word I was looking for, caretaker. And that's her little cottage over there. She lives over there, and Mrs. Abernathy, the matron of the orphanage. So thank you very much, everyone, and until next time, so many blessings.